Today we're reading from the King James Version, Revelation 12.
All right, let me get my church posture.
Let's do it. Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a garland of 12 stars. Then, being with child, she cried out in labor and in pain to give birth. And another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great fiery red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 diadems on his head. His tail drew a third of the stars of heaven, and threw them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, who was ready to give birth, to devour her child as soon as it was born. She bore a male child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up to God and his throne. Then the woman fled into the wilderness, where she was placed by God, that they should feed her there 1,262 days. Now, this is pretty interesting information, especially at a time where a lot of people are giving a lot of, predictions. DudeBro. Welcome back to DudeBro. Today we are here to talk about September 23rd. I'm DJ Eyvory and I'm with my main man.
Alias Fresh to God Fresh, the genius. And we kind of have a very interesting episode. Because in a couple days we're going to find out if the end of the world is actually going to be upon us. Is this some sort of Illuminati cult? A cult combined with the government FEMA plan to depopulate the earth. I mean, we're doing
Georgia
a lot here.
Guidestone level type, yeah.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. I love that. Georgia Guidestone. That was pretty hot. Yeah, that's actually another episode too. Yeah. But anyway, we're talking 70 weeks, Armageddon.
Yes.
Zombie bacteria, uranium 320.
239. Oh. So this is we'll get more into that. Like
I said, there's a lot. It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. But I'm not gonna waste too much time because I think we should need to jump right into this. So I'm actually gonna pass this to you.
Yeah, I think we're definitely gonna.
Where should we start? In my opinion, let's go with this line up because
we have to the alignment. Yeah.
There's a once in a 7,000 year alignment that's going to be happening.
Yeah.
Curiously, in the 23rd also. And that is just in wake of that interesting eclipse we just had. So, there's a lot of astrological phenomena. And we know that in the hip-hop arena, when those kind of things happen, folk tend to die. It's sad, but that's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
So
Kids disappear.
I haven't heard a whole lot of, sacrifice combination, or a whole lot of sacrifice talk. But I have heard a lot about the beginning of the 70 weeks of Daniel. So why don't you break down this whole...
Yeah.
Astrological sign in the sky, and then I'll give you a little bit of my biblical check.
That's definitely what we're going to need to do. So we start with kind of the 70 weeks of Daniel 9, and that kind of also relates to this Revelation 12 prediction that everyone's so hot about right now, which essentially...
And that's what you're reading?
This is that. We just read Revelation 12.
Okay.
And so basically now, what people are trying to say is the 70 weeks of Daniel, aka this whole Revelation 12 prophecy, is actually in the making right now, happening tomorrow on September 23rd, essentially.
So I'm going to pause you right there. Yeah. For all you non-Christian speakers, what he basically said was this. End of the world is supposed to start tomorrow.
Yes.
9/23/2017. That would be the first day of Daniel's 70 weeks, which is actually what you call the tribulation, which is what us other lay folk might just call Armageddon.
Or a shitty time.
Woo! That's for sure. Yeah. But now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to intersect real quick.
No, please.
Because I don't want to because there's a lot. When you talk about eschatology and prophecy,
it gets deep quick.
It's a lot, super fast. Mm-hmm. But end times, tribulation. First things I pop in my head are you a pre-trib or a post-trib? And that's really where I think it's going to be a clincher.
Or mid-trib.
Because here's the deal. If the end of the world is coming, 9/23 is going to be the rapture. You heard me, the rapture, where God takes his people up into the sky. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. No. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, I don't
either. But if you're a pre-trib person,
not tomorrow. I think that is going to happen eventually. I don't think that's happening tomorrow. I don't think that we're going to know the time this well. it says that the time is unknown. That's a fact.
I don't.
God gives signs.
We are not going to quote these pithy verses where people do want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about signs and times and wonders and why. No. We're not going to talk about that. What we are going to talk about is pre-post
and
trib.
mid-trib.
Now, my manager just said that he does not believe it's going to happen. So guess what? He's a post-trib, which means that again tomorrow may be. If you're watching this later, 9:23. If it's already happened and we're not it's not going down. Guess what? Tribulation. But now. That means that you have about 7 years. There's going to be 3.5 years with a pause and a break where you can make some shit happen. So it's not over for you. It's not over for you.
You can do some good.
There's a lot of shit that's going to happen. You'll be able to prove yourself if that's what you subscribe to. However, this is actually a very interesting segue into this uranium thing. Because if we're talking about the end of the world and end time scenarios, we hear a lot of flashings of lights in these prophecies. We hear a lot about wars and rumors of wars. And there's definitely wars and there's definitely rumors of wars, particularly with 45 in the office. Why don't you talk to me about that uranium connection?
So
that shit's crazy.
Not
to mention there's a whole geometry link.
There's a few things that are going on here, and the timing is very impressive. I will say that. For one, we have just the amazing alignment of these stars. When you compare that to Revelation 12,
yes, stars.
You literally have
glossed right over that.
You have the sun essentially that's over the shoulder of Virgo right now, and then you have the 12 stars that are the crown up there in Leo. Now, what's happening is a lot of people are shitting brakes and flipping out, whatever. I think it's more just propaganda, but this is what it gets scary now, is this whole fake news, kind of Illuminati, media, slanted bullshit that's going on. Now, this is something that goes back to Hollywood, and I just want to give you guys a little bit of information on Hollywood before you move forward. Hollywood, the name is derived from Hollywood, which is what witches make their wands from. That being said, that'll give you a little taste of what these Hollywood people are on. Hollywood is also owned by bankers. I'm just going to put that out there. The lots are owned by bankers.
What kind of bankers?
Well, they're, people like Goldman Sachs and people who prescribe to Zionism, perhaps. I also think, Federal Reserve comes into play on this one. But that being
said, the Z-word people, we're not talking zombies.
Yeah, no, this is the other Z. Want to give you a little kind of an idea of who you can look to blame for this shit. But that being said, 9/23 is a date that Hollywood's been pumping for a very long time, along with 9/11.
Really?
Anything in duality, anything in 33. 33, of course, is the number of the Great Mason.
Well, wait, I want to stop you real quick.
Yeah.
Just two things I want to pause on. One, because I told you guys, once we start talking about constellation,
it gets deep quick.
So I had to hit off this pre-trip, post-trip shit, so we got that all washed out. So anyway, you talked about the science, and if you could, can you bring up that verse? I'd like for you to talk a little bit, just a lot, so we can get those specific species where we're talking about
Revelation 12?
Well, yeah, because we want to talk about there's the woman, and then she's got to have the thing at her feet.
This is important,
how that correlates with Virgo being with the sun.
This is how we go full circle, and we don't mean to bore you with the details, but this is Revelation 12.
It's quite fast.
No, this is actually, for me, this is my life. I love this stuff. Revelation 12:1 says this: Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. Clothed with the sun. If you look at the star constellations, right over her.
So a woman. What is this woman that might be referencing?
Virgo.
Well,
they're trying to say at least it's Virgo.
If you rewind back to that,
it's all about the constellations, astrotheology, baby.
Bingo. DudeBro episode #1, Mystery System, Astrotheology. Ask about me. Anyway, though, woman clothed with the what?
The sun.
Okay, so we got the woman. She's clothed with the sun, and where is the sun
moon,
right now?
The sun is essentially over her shoulder.
Okay, so over her shoulder, women wearing a draped piece of clothing.
Yeah.
If you look at the classic Greek interpretation of the Virgo, which is what most of us in the West are looking at, you're going to see that she's got that toga thing.
Yes,
she's wrapped in the toga, and it looks like the sun would be clasping.
Now becoming almost a shroud over her.
I would take that. A shroud.
And
then what's going on her feet?
Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with a moon under her feet. The moon will be under her feet, and on her head a garland of 12 stars, which is the Leo constellations.
Okay, time out. So, I know you guys can see this thing. So let's check this out. So you got those stars. Now those 12 above the head, the sun, shoulder, moon, feet. I mean, what else do we need in this little verse? It sounds to me like it's lining up pretty well.
It sounds like you have a pretty good equation, at least from the foundation of if Virgo is the woman who's going to go through the tribulation and give birth. Now, Jupiter is going to pass into her stomach, and that's supposedly the child she's going to give birth to. I believe it's Saturn. Or I'm sorry, not Saturn, Jupiter, I do believe.
Jupiter. Interesting.
And
so Jupiter is going to be birthed by the woman.
Yeah, which is interesting. And there's always, of course, Jupiter and Saturn are the two planets that a lot of the occultic people look to for, like, your kind of Lucifer, Satan.
See, now, I would tell you, if we're still here after this, do some research on who is Jupiter biblically.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Saturn
what does that mean for you?
Saturn, too. Is,
Saturn. I would mind. Anyway, I'm not going to give you hints. Saturn.
Is a big one.
Saturn.
Yeah.
But anyway,
alien.
back to what you were saying.
So, it's going down is really what's happening. So you from at least a sign standpoint, because we are told to look to the stars. I mean, at least more or less, you can look to the. I'm not gonna say it tells us to look to the stars, but you can look to the stars for signs. It's true, and we've had eclipses as of yesterday. We had an eclipse, and we had that other major eclipse there.
Oh no, I think you were
on my
quite,
birthday, August 20th.
I like to make jokes, but you're very accurate in saying that the Bible states that the Lord uses these things for times, signs, and wonders to tell the times in which.
I don't like to act like I know anything because I'm nothing special. I'm just a servant. But
it's a book.
Yeah,
like, look, if you read Moby Dick, you can tell me what's in Moby Dick. It's what's in the book. People want to get all crazy about the Bible. You read the Bible. If the Bible says X, then that's what it says. Now you want to tell me it means something else, that Harpacio isn't there.
Speaking of which,
that you can't find the rapture unless it's in some other special Bible. That's fine. That's a different conversation.
Now, I think this is a perfect time to kind of take from that. Now we have this going on. That being said, what could we look to for this whole September 23rd thing? This whole Hollywood been calling out this 239, 923, 932.
Yes,
it's been happening for years.
Of it.
Now I'm going to post that picture right now for you guys to see of all these different movies that have this this September 23rd reference. And a lot of times these dates are like in Terminator Genesis, where you're having end of the world situations, you're having weird flooding, bombs going off. The shit is always in relation to something bad. 923. It's not a good thing.
Okay. You sent me some little meme thing that you had put together where it was like it looked like a music video, a Simpsons episode.
Yeah. So what I gave you was
and the Simpsons is usually like never wrong, so that kind of was compelling to me.
Definitely go out there.
As awkward as that sounds.
Look for people like the Truth Rising and Russian videos and
he's name dropping people
and Call for Uprising, who I think is Russian videos, but I love Russian videos, so you get respect from me.
And if you like Instagram and hot niggas like myself.
Hot boy.
Excuse me, I don't like using that word in reference to myself. Oh, that's horrible. But anyway, it's been done. Holler and follow me at alias fresh.
Yeah.
Alias _ fresh Instagram. That's how I get down. Anyway, back to what you're saying.
Yeah, so these particular people have done a great job, if nothing else, of outlining how Hollywood has really kind of poured out September 23rd, and it's like all over the place. It's on phones, it's on the screens, it's on death camps, it's in FEMA camps in the movie. It's crazy. It's everywhere. Not to mention they're trying to take it as far as just the number 23 being like really significant, which it is, because 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 33, or you can actually have 2 3s, which is 33, and 2 divided by 3 is .6666. They try to say 2 3 is the devil's number is what I'm trying to say. Well, let me just go first, and then I'll let you.
I mean, you have me. I'm telling you, you have me with the double thing.
I'm not saying this is.
I saw some data.
I want to make sure you guys have the data, because this is what's getting thrown around. I'm not saying I ascribe to this. I'm just letting you know that this is.
I'm just like this. Well,
this is
people may
Pythagorean
feel the
theorem. Pythagorean. What is it? Numerology. Pythagorean numerology, and there's also Chaldean numerology.
It's not pseudo.
People need to be looking into that too, because dualities play a huge part of that when your name's added up to 22, 33, 44, 99, 66. There's all these variations on it. But these numbers.
44 though.
44. If your name numbers up to 44, you're a death cult. Basically, that's bad news.
Interesting.
That's very bad news. If you're 44, I ain't fucking with you.
Back to what we were saying.
Yeah, no.
923.
So 923 is. I want to just reference that because they're trying to go as far as trying to make 23 itself, even without the 9. So situations where you just have 23, like Miley Cyrus's video, Michael Jordan, all this stuff. 2 3.
So you're telling me Jordan's part
the goat, and Jordan's the goat, and Jordan's the goat. He's the greatest of all time. So he's the Baphomet. So it's like
damn. Okay.
And people go deep into this stuff. People. I'm not saying
that's compelling.
It's.
I'll be real. It's compelling.
I think more than likely than Michael Jordan and Miley Cyrus, they may well know what's going on because they're in it. But I would say that uranium 239 is what we're looking at.
Let's talk about that.
Uranium 239 is what is made to use nuclear bombs, and it's also, in my opinion, then that would be the reference to 239 is a false flag operation, probably that will take place on American soil. They'll drop a nuke somewhere in America to make World War III happen. Because the only way you're going to get America mad enough to do anything with our lazy state is you drop a big ass bomb on us. And that being said, I'm hoping that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm throwing that out there. I'm not hoping for
but
any of that.
I don't want this shit to happen. I'm just saying, I have been looking at the signs, I look at the research. 239 to me more than likely would be a reference and or a fear tactic to drive fear with uranium 239.
See, statements like uranium 239, false flag, makes people want to be like pre-trib.
Yeah.
Pre-trib.
Yeah.
Anyway, though.
Yeah. See, I'm mid-trib. I'm gonna throw that out there. I think God's gonna give you about
the plot thickens.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a Chuck Misslerite in that sense, where I prescribe to.
Galore.
Yeah, I'm like the game. I drop names. Chuck Missler, that's my dog. He is the best at really.
Shout out to Cornelia House.
Yeah, he's really good at least giving you the full story. And like, hey, this is Nero, this is King Augustus, this was
I can respect that.
He was always like
I can definitely respect that.
Antiochus IV. He tells you that's the you want to learn something about the Antichrist, study Antiochus IV. Look at Seleucid Empire, that's what he was part of. And the Greeks and the Romans, and I mean there's just so much cool stuff to look at, and life is so beautiful and fascinating. That's why I don't want it to end. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe it's September 23rd, maybe it's not. I think more than likely you can look to uranium 239 as a false flag event where a bomb will be dropped somewhere in the world where they'll try to galvanize World War III. So people, be strong, don't let that shit happen. Get your minds right. And also, we also need to let it be known that right now there are balloons being sent across America that have
like... steal my shine like that. Steal my shine.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Stealing my shine.
Here, hold on.
I'm supposed to talk
Yeah,
balloons.
no,
No, balloons out, cat's out the bag. Here's a
Let me
bag.
transition
Here's
back.
the cat. Cat's out of it. You know how cats are about small spaces. So anyway,
Yeah,
we're
hit us
talking
with-
ancient bacteria. This is movie stuff. This is deep.
This is
underneath
relic
the earth.
status.
You know what I'm saying?
Mythic,
deep
relic.
underneath the earth. There was some sort of, it takes 10,000 years for water to even get to the place. Scientists,
This is creepy.
and their craziness for searching for things, found some prehistoric, million-year-old, 100 million, 200 million, if check it out, bacteria. And what's interesting about this bacteria, it's a super bacteria. It's not regular bacteria. It's a bacteria that, for whatever reason, has been duking it out with life for so long that now it is ultra-resistant to everything.
Oh, God.
And it's even very structure alone looks like a tornado. Hella dope, geeking out right now, love it. Nature, amazing. Anyway,
Not
though,
so cool.
yeah. But the not so cool part is,
Yeah.
like he said, what's the hand doing? The hand is following that elliptical...
That same eclipse path from Oregon to
sweet
Salem.
path. I forget the name, but
Yeah.
that term that they use for where the sweet spot is for the eclipse, where you can see it,
Yeah.
they just happen to release balloons. And we thought they were just maybe, cameras or regular shit. But no, these balloons were full of,
This
as my
fucking
story thief said,
zombie virus.
some sort of bacteria that apparently is not only able to, resist any kind of antibiotic known to man, but it also kills, interesting things like bees. And, I don't know why we would want to release that, because it's already known that this penicillibus, I'm totally butchering it, but look it up, you'll find it, is killing the bees, and that's this interesting bacteria. So now we've got two birds.
Oh.
We know that the bacteria is what's killing the bees.
Once
We
bees
know
are
why
gone,
the
we're
bees are
fucked.
killing.
Yeah.
So now,
Ecosystem
I know
fucked.
that there's some things in the tribulation where it talks about famine and livestock dying and all kinds of pestilence.
They're trying to set it up.
So,
Yeah.
whether this is man-made, whether it's nothing, I don't know. But where do zombies come into play here? Now, zombies come into play because...
I got a lot of bullets for them zombies too. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I ain't gonna lie. Secretly, I'm like...
My man's talking about the
comic
media.
clipping, dog.
And we're going to go play the media spooky game. And I'm going to say, I find it very intriguing that all of a sudden...
Yeah.
We're seeing a huge ramp up in what? Zombie-related theater, horror
Walking
movies,
Dead,
books,
George of Romero,
video games,
King of Zombies.
you name it, zombies.
Fear propaganda is just everywhere. And to be honest, I don't think people...
But what's the
should-
bacteria connection? What's the bacteria connection? Well, remember when we had that interesting drug...
When people start getting sick and dying across that fucking ecliptical, people are like, "Well, this is special. This is crazy. What's going on?"
Well, here's my zombie bacteria. How could this work? Matthew, can you stretch long enough? Fresh, can you tell us how it worked? Yo, it's like this. When Christ rose from the dead rose also.
Yeah, I love that.
They were walking around.
Ah.
They got up out of their graves.
Oh, so that could be what this virus is. It could bring some dead back.
So all I'm saying is that if we're going to be talking about trials and tribulations and going through some craziness, I know there's a lot. Read the prophecies. It goes down.
Yeah.
Like, things are going down. So, is it possible that Resident Evil, the video game, is really a
Predictive
setup
programming.
for you to not only be embracing, but understand,
Yeah.
hey, this is your new life, you're going to have to duke it out. make that shit happen. Hey, I don't know.
Predictive
But I
programming
do
is
know
huge in Hollywood,
that we are in a very volatile time right now.
Mm-hmm.
And as goofy as it sounds, The Simpsons predicted it.
They've been predicting everything.
It's like a thing you can say.
And 923 is also a Simpson prediction too. Just throw that out there. So, stay with your families, kick back, rolling, DudeBro.
Humanity is fresh, fresh God, fresh to genius, and please remember to share this. Drop us
Get it
cool
out there.
comments. Let me know if I'm tripping. Let him know if he's 100% right about everything. Let me know if you're still here.
Yes.
By the way, shout outs and prayers go to all of the people who, healing vibes and all that shit, go out to the people who are in Houston, Puerto Rico, you know, the islands out there, you know, much love to you because we understand that things have been just
Them
devastating.
hurricanes is pretty nuts.
And we understand that people with boats are really not picking up the people who don't have them. You know what I'm talking about. So please be careful. Get out there with your loved ones. We understand that some of you are without not only electricity and shelter, but peace of mind.
Yeah.
So do your best to hold it together and understand that we're out here pulling for you. In the meantime, between time, like I said, share this, like this. Let's make this comments explode because it's called social media for a reason. We brought you the media. It's time to get social. So again, alias Fresh, Fresh God, Fresh the Genius, and none other than Upper DJ
Eyvory. Appreciate y'all watching. We hope we see you tomorrow. God bless.
Hey, if not, do it big. Woo!
DudeBro, we out, y'all.
Big flag.
Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave
Versace apparel, I cock up the barrel. I live in a pyramid just like a pharaoh. These birds, they don't spit, they just swallow like sparrows. I ride in the ghost of the mist like my scarecrows. These demons love death and we sacrifice scary hoes. My magic is very yo, infecting your stereo. And fuck at least every hoe. We smoking the finest draw. Started up young with a nose full of blow. Game gadget with them G's and them O's. Back on the boat, we be moving kilos. I'm gangsta like Gucci trap bandos like Migos. The metro is booming, young thugs full of evil. The hearts are all black and they minds is deceitful. And just like a church, yeah, we steal from the people. And just like them Zannies, them balls can be lethal.
You know the feel. Page your friend, DJ Eyvory. We out.